Right, hello everyone and welcome back to another Outlast Trials guide. Today we're doing Solve the Murder. This is one of the new MK trials put in the game. Well, it's the only new MK trial put in recently. And this trial, it's I like it, I don't mind. It took me a few goes to like understand what's going on in it. There's people putting up guides of them like doing it in like 2 minutes, so like I feel like it's one of those trials that'll either take you a while or you could literally get it done in like 2 or 3 minutes, which is quite interesting. But it's not a bad one. It's on the resort. So yeah, we'll just get straight into it and we'll head up to the first room. Okay, so basically we have that guy there. He's the murder victim. And there's like 3 things we have to find in this trial to complete it. And it's the killer, the weapon that was used, and the room. So I'm going to go to the right here and you're going to see what we have to do to find the weapon. Okay, so in these 2 cases we have weapons. Well, there's not one in this one because this was the weapon that was used. And in this one we have a rolling pin. Now keep in mind, write it down or like just memorize it, that there's a rolling pin, that wasn't one of the weapons used. And eventually we're going to find the weapons room where there's going to be more of these cases with more items in them. And then there's going to be like a kind of a board below it. So we basically have to note off which weapons are like in the cases. Sorry. And whichever one isn't in a case, that's the weapon that was used to commit the murder. I just look at it here for a bit. And then the killer himself is the mannequin. So we have to basically, we're going to enter a room filled with mannequins. And what we have to look for is the mannequin that's missing these parts of his body. So when we get into the mannequin room, we'll be looking for the mannequin that's missing his right and left arm. Sometimes you could be looking for a mannequin that's missing like a left arm and a right leg, or left arm, left leg, etc. So just keep in mind the parts of the mannequin's body that are here, because those are the ones that'll be missing on the mannequin when we go to the mannequin room. And then we're going to come to where, this is where I really struggle to understand this trial. So there's going to be this blood trail here and we have to follow it using these UV lights. Now I think you really have to like stay on the track, like really kind of lock in and make sure you're following the blood trail that starts from this room. Because I think it's kind of like the pipes in other trials, like, you know, they're kind of like intertwined and they loop, and it's kind of like you can get thrown off, you can end up following the wrong pipe. I think it's a similar kind of concept with this UV, so you really just have to follow kind of the blood pattern from the room, so you don't get like lost or thrown off. Because there'll be other, basically this blood trail is going to stop. It's going to like form a pool of blood in like a room, and that room is where the murder took place. And there'll be a number in that room as well on a screen, and that's the number you have to dial into the keypad. But that's kind of basically the whole trial in a nutshell. Once you kind of identify those 3 things, you just head back to where you started, and and then you leave. And that's basically this trial in a nutshell. I don't know if you've seen it, there's a screen there with the number 7 on it, but it's not going to be that one because the blood trail doesn't stop here. And there's other rooms as well. You really just have to kind of keep an eye on the blood. Like, we're going to come to this double door now that's going to be locked, so we'll have to find a way to kind of get around and kind of come onto the other side of this door and resume following the trail. But obviously if you're playing this on a higher difficulty, you're going to have enemies coming after you and it's going to be easier to get thrown off, so you just have to be careful. So there's room number 4, but it's not this room either. And I eventually find the blood trail again here. But the spawns for all of these can change. So, you know, it's not going to be the same room that the murder took place in. The weapons room isn't going to be the same every time. and obviously the mannequin's limbs aren't going to be the same every time. They're going to change. So the one thing I'd say to just try and like keep an eye on is how to get back to the beginning of the trial. Just make sure you kind of know your way back. And this is basically the door that we were looking at before. And then this is the mannequin room here. So our mannequin is number 1 because the mannequin we had at the beginning had its right and left arm. And then that mannequin I just looked at there was missing its right and left arm. So that's the murder. So take note of the number that was beside that mannequin. And then we're going to resume trying to find the killer room and the weapons room. There's not really a specific thing I can say about that because it changes every time. So there's no point in even following my path, but just kind of know how to like find each thing. And then I kind of go back here because I end up second guessing myself. I was right. You just keep following the trail and you'll be fine. I just went back here just to make sure I was doing it right. There we go. Just keep going. Just watch out for Lily as well. She could be any of those mannequins. It's quite annoying. There's going to be a few cuts here where like enemies just come in and I just kind of cut it out just to, for time's sake. And this is the room. So the room is number 5. So the codes we have are 1 and 5 so far. So the room is 5 and the mannequin is 1. So now we have to find the weapons room and identify the weapon that was used. And it's kind of like the Kidnap the Mistress trial. You'll see the kind of like way it's done. And there'll be signs kind of telling you where the weapons room is. You'll see them here. So look, if you look at that sign there, we just go right and we'll eventually get to the weapons room. It's not too long. This trial doesn't take too long to do. I don't mind it. It's kind of cool. I just hate the whole freezing temperature thing where you have to like stay warm. I did not like that at all. I thought that was one of the worst things brought into the game. But this trial is okay. So now we're in the weapons room. So if you remember, we had the rolling pin at the start. So now we have to see the ones that are in the case here. So the ones that are in the case are the candelabra, the bell, the antlers, their antlers, and an iron. So we have rolling pin, candle, bell, antlers, and iron. So then we have to see which one is missing. So the one we're missing that's not here is a frying pan. So a frying pan was used to commit the murder. And that's basically it. When you have those 3 codes, you just basically head back to the very start, punch them into the keypads, and that's the trial finished. I'm going to cut it out here, the journey I take back, just because I kind of I get a bit lost on the way. I'm still getting used to this trial myself. But that's basically this trial. I've yet to play it on like a higher difficulty. I'd like to see what it's like on a more difficult difficulty. But yeah, I end up putting in the codes wrong here at the start. I put in the killer as number 5, and I should have put the location as number 5. But it's grand. Just be careful. It does take a bit of health off you. You'll see here. It takes like 2 bars of my health off when you do it wrong. So you don't want to get it wrong too much. I nearly ended up like quitting it here because I was getting pissed off, but I got it right in the end. I just had to put the room as 1, the room is 5, and then the killer and the weapon is 1. And then that's it, done. So that's pretty much it for this trial, guys. Let me know if it helped you or not, and I'll have plenty more Outlast Trials content coming soon. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching.